Thank you, Senator Abler and members of the committee. My name is Hope, and on June 17th of 2019, I began employment as a policy associate for the Mayor's Office of St. Paul. I resigned October 29th and officially filed a charge of discrimination on the basis of disability with the Minnesota Department of Human Rights just yesterday. When I started my position, I was really excited to start this next chapter in my life after going through a year of hell recovering from an amputation caused from surgical malpractice. I was born with spina bifida, which is visible in the way that I walk. I have walking limitations. Part of my job as policy associate was attending events with the mayor. This wasn't an issue until I was scheduled to an event that had absolutely no parking and enough walking that almost made me pass out. Following the event, I made a request over email that I be informed if events would have limited parking and significant walking. I received no email reply, and when talking with my manager a few days later, they suggested that I could instead Google Earth it and find out myself. After my request was ignored, my manager's treatment changed towards me, and the kind of work I was asked to do changed. I was asked to make quick trips between departments, which they knew would be tiring and difficult for me. I was asked to clean up conference tables with trays and pitchers they knew I couldn't carry, and then embarrassed me in front of other employees, berating me to ask them for help, which seemed to have given them some sort of satisfaction. They intentionally gave me miscellaneous admin work without clear direction so that when I failed, they justified sitting in on all of the meetings I was assigned to in order to make sure that I could, that I was, quote, able to do the work. I also received derogatory emails, at one point referring to people with disabilities as patients and asking me tips on how people can engage with us. I guess to them I wasn't a person. I filed a complaint with the city's HR department, but instead of resolving my circumstances, I was referred to the city's ADA coordinator, who insisted I write a formal request for accommodation in order to engage the interactive process. The interactive process was established in 2000 by former President Clinton in Executive Order 13164. And clearly says that when a disability or need for accommodation is not obvious, an agency may, if it chooses, require that an individual provide documentation of their disability. My walking limitations are obvious and in fact were known. My request for accommodation should have been met as there was no undue hardship caused to my employer. And in fact was inconsistent with their own policy, as I received other accommodations during my employment that did not require a formal request or an interactive process, like being able to park in the deputy mayor's parking spot due to the fact that downtown St. Paul doesn't have accessible street parking at all. This has been very hard for me and breaks my heart because I love St. Paul. In the summer of 2017, I externed for Federal Judge Donovan Frank. And the following fall, I interned with Governor Mark Dayton and had some of the best experiences of my life. It was my dream to live, work, and play in St. Paul. And it's not fair that I now fear coming to the one place I always wanted to be. It appears that this was abuse of reasonable accommodation, with department heads getting to pick and choose whether or not they think I should be given my civil rights. But frankly, I don't think it matters if I have civil rights or not. Those can be taken away from me tomorrow. What remains is my innate personhood, which deserves to be treated with respect, dignity, and equality. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Justice too long delayed is justice denied." There's an important question here today, and that is, do we believe that every person deserves justice? Thank you.